13 years I've been doing this, and I need your help.
And welcome to yet another episode of Crown and Comments with your host and resident Goldwing guru, the one, the only, Cruiseman. Brought to you by Cruiseman's Garage Honda Goldwing Maintenance Videos.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Cruiseman's Garage and Crown and Comments for June 2025. Man, it's hard to believe this year is it just me? Or is time just flying by? Anyway, welcome back to the show. I hope if this is your first time here, let me tell you a little bit about it. Normally this is Crown and Comments because normally I do this in the evening. And I have a glass of Crown Royal over here. You know what? I don't have my computer. I forgot to bring my computer in. Let me go get it.
A few moments later.
Okay. Now I think we can do the show. It's going to be kind of hard for me to read your comments if I don't have my computer here. I'll go ahead and let it start up. Anyway, for those of you that are new, basically I do this show once a month. I like to sit down and I like to go through the comments that you leave on my YouTube channel or Facebook or email, however you communicate. And then what I try to do is I try to answer those or respond to them in some way. If you put comments in on my video, there's always a chance that you will be mentioned here on Crown and Comments. And I also cover kind of the news of what's going on with the channel. And I have some other issues. Now, I'm not going to get into, I told you in the opening, I need your help, and I do. And I'm going to talk about that in the next segment. But the first segment, I do want to let you know that I got a notification from YouTube when I logged in the other day, a few days ago, that my YouTube channel is 13 years old. I had no idea it was that old, but I guess I posted my first video back in, 2002? No, 2012, I guess. I think that was on my 2007 Goldwing before I got the 2012. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look. I haven't even gone back and looked. I've got over 1,000 videos on this channel. And knowing me, if any of you know me the way you know me, you know that I'm pretty embarrassed that after 13 years, I don't have 100,000 subscribers. I would think by now. But, you know, that brings me to the point. If you haven't subscribed already, please click that subscribe button down below. That's one way you can help me out, is subscribe to the channel, because I have always had this thing in my head about getting to 100,000 subscribers. I don't know why. It just is stupid, because you don't make any money on YouTube. You make nothing for subscribers. It's purely ego, and I am a weak, pitiful, empty person inside, and I need that validation. Anyway, 13 years. If you've been on this channel with me for that full 13 years, if you're still alive, I don't know how many of you are still alive, let me know in the comments. How long have you been watching my channel? If at all. Maybe this is your first time, maybe it's your last time, who knows. I do tend to lose subscribers on Crown and Comments. Believe it or not, I end up with a net loss sometimes. Other news, Goldwing giveaway update. We did have the drawing at DFW Honda the end of last month, and Jeff Cash from Tulsa and his wife April came down, picked up the bike. Very cool. They stayed overnight, had breakfast with us the next Sunday. So anyway, congratulations to Jeff. Thanks to DFW Honda, and thanks to our other sponsors, Gold Strike, Pathfinder LED, Traction Dynamics, and Showcrum. Thank you for donating all the parts. Now, some of you may wonder, I've had several people ask, how much was I getting paid to promote this drawing? And I didn't get paid anything. Okay, I did. I just agreed to do this for DFW Honda. I did get access to some of the email addresses from the people who registered. So you may have ended up on my email list, but you can unsubscribe from that if you want to, no problem. I want to update you a little bit about the Carlin kit, that Mini Ultra. I never can remember if it's Ultra Mini or Mini Ultra. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean. The little bitty CarPlay adapter, miniature one, works great. It's been working great for me. And I can't believe, I am an affiliate, a Carlin kit affiliate. Anytime one of you guys or gals purchases one of these Carlin kits, I get a little notice from Carlin Kit, and I was blown away by how many people apparently are using Apple CarPlay and want wireless Apple CarPlay. I was shocked by it. And the same goes for that Madehawk, that little adapter that lets you use CarPlay without a helmet or without a Bluetooth headset. I was shocked at how many people, I guess there's a lot of people that ride Goldwings or ride motorcycles without helmets, and they want to use Apple CarPlay through the speakers. I was really shocked by that. The last few months, this new American design, which a lot of you I think have been ordering for the 4th of July, there's another design that has just the eagle on it. I call it the American Goldwing Eagle design. It's our original design. Anyway, those are available at shop.cruisemansgarage.com. Thanks to all of you that have been placing merchandise orders. All of that stuff helps support the channel, and it's much appreciated. Now, I do want to make you aware of, I just got an email yesterday or day before that Sena is having some special deals, I think for the 4th of July. Let me just read it to you real quick. You may already be aware of it. It says here it's good through the remainder of June and July. They have what they call a Wave trade-up program. Now, I am a Sena affiliate also. I do use Sena headsets. But it says live now through July 31st, users can shop 60S, Striker, and Phantom for an exciting deal. Now, I just reviewed the Phantom helmet just the other day. Earn up to $150 back in store credit or select our refund option when you send in an intercom unit, any brand in any condition. So basically, and the full details are on their website, so basically any headset you've got, you can get like $150 worth of credit toward a new Sena product. That's a pretty good deal. That's what they call the Wave Trade-Up program. There is also a 4th of July sale. Enjoy up to 30% off select products, July 4th through the 6th on Sena.com. Now, you can go to cruisemansgarage.com/Sena. Now, you might get a Cruiseman discount. You don't get it on everything. It just depends. If it's a sale item, you may or may not get the additional, I think it's a 10% discount. But you basically, even if you use my link to go to Sena's website, you still have to type in the code Cruiseman at checkout. If you don't type that code in, then you won't get the discount. So make sure you do that. Okay, that's the update from Sena. I think Rick over at Wing Stuff has some special deals going for the 4th of July. Rick's a friend of the channel. You might want to check, and so is Wing Stuff. So you might want to check out wingstuff.com. I think they still have a deal, but it may only be good through the end of this month on those Bridgestone tires. I think they have a rebate deal, plus they've got some other special deals, so check them out. Okay, other news, you probably, if you follow the channel, you've probably already seen that I have this Honda NT1100. Honda sent me one of their press bikes, and I think it had like 440 miles on it when it came in. And I'm in the process of reviewing the NT1100 with the help of my friend Dale. Some of you may have remembered Dale. You probably saw him in the Slingshot video. Well, Dale has an Africa Twin. He also has a Goldwing, just like mine, 24 Goldwing. But he has an Africa Twin, and he's put a lot of seat time in on that Africa Twin. He's very familiar with how it rides, how it handles, the power, everything. So I thought it would be a really good idea if he took the bike for a week and rode it around. I think he's going to do some long distance trips on it. to compare the Africa Twin experience with the NT1100. I think that'll be valuable information because I've never ridden an Africa Twin, and Dale's got a lot of seat time on the Africa Twin. He went to Alaska on it last year, so he's put the miles on that Africa Twin. I actually think he has his Africa Twin up for sale. So if you're interested, put it in the comments or drop me an email and I'll forward that on to Dale. As far as me, road trip wise, one of my plans is to head out to West Texas. I was hoping to go this week, but it looks like it's been delayed. I may not get out of here till the middle of next week or the first of next week. So we'll see. It's going to be hot. But that's pretty typical. That's Texas. So hopefully it's just not too windy. I can take the heat, the wind and the heat together kind of gets me down. Okay, and I just want to remind everybody again, if you haven't done so already, did you know that 65% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribers on this channel? Go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. I mean, I hate to be so blunt about it, but there's a subscribe button down below. Click it. Make sure you click the notification bell. If you don't do that, YouTube's not going to let you know when I come out with new videos. And you definitely want to know when I come out with new videos. Now, when I say YouTube is going to notify you, I don't mean they're going to send you an email. They're not going to call you on the phone. They're not going to harass you. But the next time you go into YouTube, my newest videos may show up in your recommended list. That's all it does. So that's what I mean by that. Also, make sure that you've signed up for my email newsletter. It's completely free. You can unsubscribe at any time. And while you're at it, I seem to be having a lot of issues getting people to subscribe to my Instagram, and I don't know why. Are you guys just not on Instagram? Is that what it is? Because I see other motorcycle channels, and they have tens of thousands of Instagram subscribers. And I've always struggled to get subscribers on Instagram. And I do post things on Instagram fairly regularly. And so I thought what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a promotion, a special that's only going to be visible to those of you that subscribe to me on Instagram. So if you don't subscribe to me, I'm not going to make a video about it. I'm not going to put it on YouTube. I'm not going to put it in my email newsletter. I'm not going to put it on my website. It's only going to be available to those of you that follow me on Instagram. It will be coming in July. So you have time. Go to Instagram.com and subscribe to Cruiseman's Garage, at Cruiseman's Garage. And you will be one of those who will know about that special. That's the only way I know to encourage people to go subscribe to me on Instagram. Okay, remember, I'm desperate here. I could go at any minute. So, have a heart and help out a friend. Okay. Now, in the next block, I'm going to tell you why I need your help. It's very important. Everybody, welcome back to Crown and Comments, June 2025. I'm Cruiseman, and I need your help.
Let me go and see if there's some help out there, some professional help. You need professional help. Hang on.
Now, actually, it's going to help all of us. If you ride a Honda Goldwing especially, this is going to sound a little strange, but I've got to frame this correctly. Here's what I need. It's going to involve you putting a comment in down below in this video if what I'm about to say applies to you. If it does not apply to you, I don't want you to make something up. If this applies to you, and I'm going to tell you why I want to collect these comments. I need to be able to show Honda that this channel is effective. Now, I know it's effective for the Honda Goldwing community, and the reason I say that, not to brag, but I've had dozens, if not hundreds, of messages over many, many videos telling me, I bought a Honda Goldwing because I've watched your videos. I was considering a BMW or a Goldwing, and I bought the Goldwing because of this video or whatever. I need to be able to show Honda a series of comments from people like you if, in fact, this channel has been influential in your decision to either buy a Honda Goldwing or upgrade to a newer Honda Goldwing. Now, remember, I don't get any commission from Honda. It's not like Honda's paying me. There's no dealerships that give me a commission from promoting the dealership. I want you to understand the reason why I'm asking you to do this is I don't know if Honda really grasps how this channel is helping the Goldwing community, and that's my goal. My goal is to help the motorcycle community at large, but also the Honda Goldwing community. One of the problems with the Honda Goldwing is Honda does not have any evangelist within the company to really push and promote the Honda Goldwing. They're such a big company. They've got so many different motorcycles, so many different products. They don't focus that much attention on the Goldwing, which is a shame because it's the most expensive model they make. I'm sure it's the most profitable model for the dealers to sell. So Honda kind of leaves it up to the dealers and to people like me. What I need to be able to do is to have you, if in fact you were influenced, that's the word, if you were influenced in any way to purchase or upgrade your Goldwing because of something you saw on this YouTube channel, please let me know in the comments down below. Now, many of you have done this in other videos, but I'd have to go through 1,000 videos and look at all the comments to try hundreds of thousands of comments to try to find those little comments. So that's the help I need. The more I can show that level of influence to Honda, and the more I can show that to vendors. You know, vendors look at this channel and they're trying to say, okay, do we want to offer this community, meaning those of you who subscribe, those of you who follow this channel, a discount. And I try to negotiate. When I do a product review now, I'll give you an example. Bullet Brake. Bullet Brake record sales after my video came out. I actually told him, I knew it was going to be a hot item. I knew that many of you are going to want that Bullet Brake on your Honda Goldwing because the parking brake that comes from Honda is crap. So I knew that you guys are going to want that Bullet Brake. So I told him when I first started talking to him, I said, make sure you've got plenty of inventory to fulfill orders because I don't want to put a video out and then hundreds of people contact you to buy the Bullet Brake and not be able to get it because you're out of stock. You sell out the first day. So we did. We waited until he had some issues he had to deal with. Once he got his inventory ready to go, super nice guy. Many of you have met Mark. And we put the video out and the sales were just through the roof. I mean, I think he told me it was like 1,600% over what he had sold the previous month or the previous year. I don't remember which. This channel and this community has some muscle. Now, I'm not an affiliate with Bullet Brake. I don't get any money from Bullet Brake, but I did negotiate a discount for you guys to use the Cruiseman code. So that's what I try to do. I try to go to these vendors and say, listen, give my supporters something, give them a reason, give them a discount code, a coupon code, something where they save a little money, just a little incentive to get them to purchase your product. So hopefully that benefits you as a consumer. And hopefully because of that, you've been able to save some money on some of the products you've bought through my affiliate links, whether it's Senna, whether it's Carlin Kit. I think they get a 20% discount with Carlin Kit. Bullet Brake, Bon Armor has done deals with us in the past. That's kind of the reason I need this information from you is so I can go to these vendors, so I can go to Honda, so I can go to these other suppliers and say, listen, yeah, I've got a YouTube channel it ain't that big. I don't have 1 million subscribers, but these are very focused. They're Honda Goldwing owners. They're touring bike owners. I need these testimonials from you. I need these comments. So do me a favor today. 13 years. I've never asked you to do this in 13 years. But, time moves on. So it's time for me to ask. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe. Click the notification bell. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Did you know that YouTube looks at that? They look at how many thumbs up I get on a video. They also look at how many comments a video gets. That's called what YouTube calls engagement. The more that you guys engage with a video by putting in a comment, doesn't have to be a long comment, but the more you engage with the video, YouTube says, oh, you know what? That's a pretty popular video. Let's make it available to a broader audience. And what that does, that brings more people to the channel. There's people out there riding Honda Goldwings, riding motorcycles. They've never heard of Cruiseman's Garage. It's a whole new thing for them. They don't know anything about it. Okay, so need the comments, need the thumbs up. Thanks for your help. That's what I'm asking for. That's all I ask. I'm not asking you to send me money. Of course, you're always welcome to if you want to, but you don't have to send me money. And when we come back, I'm going to go through your comments and I'm going to respond to them like I always do. And that's coming up right after this. Hey everybody, welcome back to Crown and Comments, June 2025. Okay, time for your comments. Got all my notes here, I'm done with that. Now it's just a matter of going through and reading your comments and responding to them. Okay, I've got a lot of comments on my first video I did on the NT1100, which is just like the first day I'd ridden it. I did a little motovlog. So a lot of these comments are about the NT1100. And this is from Anthony, West Texas Rides. Wonder where in West Texas. I've been really interested in this bike as a step down from my F6B as I'm wanting something a bit smaller, lighter, and lets me feel more of the wind. You'll definitely feel more of the wind. However, every time I ride something else, then I get back on my wing and I just can't seem to justify letting it go. Yeah, I get that, Anthony. I get that. But you'll definitely feel more of the wind on this NT. And my initial impressions of the motorcycle are very good. I think you're going to be surprised at my review. It's I know a lot of you are thinking maybe this is a replacement or a bike you could buy instead of a Goldwing. I'm going to talk about that. How does this compare to a Honda Goldwing? And then Dale will talk about how it compares to an Africa Twin. Razor Wired says, I have a 2024 Africa Twin DCT and a K1600 and an FJR. I like the Twin, but wind protection sucks compared to my other bikes. I agree. I've tried 3 different screens. I knew going in. Now, I don't know if he's talking about on his Africa. He must be talking about on his Africa Twin because he doesn't say he owns an NT1100. I knew going in that the wind protection wouldn't be as good. I just underestimated how much it bothers me. Don't know if the Twin will be in my garage for long. I guess he's talking about the Africa Twin. So apparently it has the same wind issues that this NT has because it a lot of wind. Definitely needs a bigger windscreen. This is from Jay Guggelheim. Nice preview. Look forward to your full review. I'm interested in comfort, suspension, seat, foot peg position, balance, and maneuverability. I'll talk about all that in my final review. Thank you for that question. Next question, same video. Man in the middle. With the NT1100 and the Africa Twin, you can use CarPlay without a Bluetooth headset. You have just to push the back button during few seconds and CarPlay will appear on the Gold. I don't know why they do that, But I did notice when I plugged the Carlin Kit Mini Ultra into the USB port on the NT1100, it doesn't have to have the headset turned on. And there's no speakers, and there's no microphone, obviously, but there are not even any speakers, so you can't listen to any messages, text messages, or phone calls, or anything, or Sirius XM. I don't understand why Honda, you can pull up navigation screens, but you can't hear the navigational instructions without a headset. So I found it interesting that Honda will allow CarPlay to be used without a Bluetooth headset on the Africa Twin and the NT1100, but not on the Honda Goldwing. What's that all about? I don't know. Maybe somebody out there has an answer to that question. This is from Lake Man. Can you provide a link for the oil filter wrench with the set screw? This is a video I did back when I first got this 2024 and I couldn't get the oil filter off. And I ended up taking it to DFW Honda, and they had an oil filter wrench with a set screw that they basically screwed into the side of the oil filter, and that gave it enough bite to where they're able to get the oil filter off. I don't know of anybody that actually makes that oil filter wrench. It is an oil filter wrench from Snap-on or Blue Point. But they had to drill out and tap it and put the set screw in. It doesn't come with the set screw. And you could theoretically do that with any oil filter wrench that you could drill into the side of. Just drill a hole, tap it out. You could either put a set screw or you could even put a small wood screw and screw that into the oil filter. You just want to make sure that the head of the screw or the set screw isn't sticking out too far, so that when you turn that wrench, you don't want that to dig in to your crankcase. And you don't have much room. You've only got about maybe an eighth of an inch, maybe a little more than an eighth of an inch. So you want to make sure it has that's why a set screw is a good idea. You can screw it in until that set screw is flush with the side of that oil filter wrench, and then you can turn it off, turn it and crank it and get it off. Anyway, I hope that helps answer that question. Back to the NT1100. This is from Ride Fit Nation. This is Sensei. If you haven't been to his YouTube channel, check it out at Ride Fit Nation. I'll put it on the screen for you. He says, awesome bike, talking about the NT1100. My Africa Twin is a blast to ride. Now, he's got a Goldwing and an Africa Twin. So he puts videos up with both bikes. Aya Watts says, too bad it has a chain, talking about the NT1100. Okay. I got a lot of comments about this, about the fact that this NT1100 does not have a drive shaft. And I think that's coming from Goldwing riders that are spoiled by having a drive shaft and not having to deal with maintaining a chain. But I think you have to understand something. This motorcycle is a real bargain. We'll talk about that in the review. If Honda were to put a drive shaft on the NT1100, number one, it's going to take away from the power of the motorcycle. Number two, it's going to add probably 50 pounds or more to the motorcycle, which also takes away from the power. And number three, it's probably going to add another $1,500 to the cost of the motorcycle. So for Honda to keep the NT1100, I'm just speculating. I don't know. I have no contact at Honda. But I'm thinking that to keep it competitive with other motorcycles in this class, they just couldn't put a drive shaft on it. It's not designed as a long-distance touring bike. It's a sport touring bike. And I should maybe alleviate some of your fear about a chain. They're really not that hard to maintain. You might have to adjust it every couple of months, 3 months, maybe put a little oil on it every now and then, but not much. These new O-ring chains are super durable. They'll last a long time. So I think the fear of having a chain, a lot of us think back to when we were kids and we had mini bikes and motorcycles with chains and they were a pain in the ass to take care of. It's not that way anymore. They're much more durable and reliable. Okay, let's see. This is from, I don't know this name, Najumkli. Are you stalking me or something? I was just considering buying the Goldwing and ended up getting the NT1100 after the giveaway. So I guess he waited to see if he was going to win the drawing, and he didn't, so he bought an NT1100. Okay, well, congratulations on your new bike. Alex J. Garcia says, nice bike, Chris. Thank you as always for a great video. Would this be considered an adventure style bike? Also, what brand is the jacket you're wearing in the video? I wear an Olympia Airglide 5. Olympia is out of business. I was able to find one through Cycle Gear. They still had some left over. I guess they had bought out all the old inventory. I don't know if they still have them or not, but you might check Cycle Gear to see if they've still got the Olympia Airglide 5. I love Olympia jackets. I've had several of them. And as soon as I found that one, I bought it. You asked another question. Oh, is it considered an adventure style bike? No, I would consider this a sport touring bike. Adventure bike is going to be the Africa Twin. This bike is really not suited for off-road. You could probably take it down a dirt road if you needed to, but it's not like an Africa Twin where you can get off into the boonies. Motorcycle Michael said, too bad it comes in automatic. Well, you could move to the UK because you can buy a 6-speed version in Europe. You don't have to move to the UK. You can move anywhere in Europe. And they do sell the NT1100 in a 6-speed manual transmission. They also make one with electronic suspension, which you can't get here. Let's see. This is Dale. Not my Dale. This is some other Dale. Love your videos. NT1100 will never ride like a Goldwing. It's apples and oranges. It's built for the younger riders. Try a burnout on it. Videos sell better when you're more complimentary. Example, you love the color. For the price, it has Apple CarPlay, etc. Maybe if Honda hear your compliments, they will sponsor you. I don't think Honda is going to sponsor me no matter what I say. About the NT1100. I think if they were going to sponsor me, they'd already done it by now. But yeah, I agree. It's never going to ride like a Goldwing. It's not designed to ride like a Goldwing. It's not a $30,000 motorcycle. It's a $12,000 motorcycle. You shouldn't expect it to ride like a Goldwing. And it is apples and oranges. It is a different ride. The question is, for some people, is it good enough? Not everybody does a 2-week tour on a motorcycle. Some people just want to maybe do a little day trip, or they may want to ride it around town. And we're going to talk about who is this motorcycle for? What purpose does it really serve? Okay, this is a long one, so bear with me. This is from Al Drusso. I am considering a second bike to add to my 2021 Goldwing Tour. I'm looking at this bike for the 2025 or the 2025 NC750X. I'll be curious to know what you think of this bike compared to the Goldwing and whether it is too much like the Goldwing to really want a second bike. Partly I'm looking for this for my wife to use, and of course as a lighter bike for just riding around locally, which is why I'm also looking at the 750X. One concern is the seat height on the NT for shorter 5'2" riders. I did hear how much more wind noise there was, so I'd be curious if their bigger windshield would work better. I also don't understand why they didn't offer the electronic suspension in the US, especially given that they have this model only as a DCT. I noticed that all the press bikes have the saddlebags, yet they are not standard on this. It adds another $1,000 to the price. I look forward to more detailed review. Okay, let's go back to let me compare this real quick to this NC750 or NC750, yeah. Obviously, the bike's heavier. It sits up a little bit higher. If you can flat foot a Goldwing, you'll be able to flat foot the NT1100, more than likely. Now 5'2", I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I know that Robert is a little shorter than I am. He's not 5'2", but he's a little shorter than I am, and he has no trouble flat-footing the NT1100. But I think you're just going to have to go sit on both bikes at a dealership and make this decision. I think the NC750 may sit a little bit lower. If you really want, for 5'2", you get down to something like the Rebel. Now that is really going to sit lower than either of these bikes. So that's just my take on the height of the seat height. Let's see, be sure the bigger windshield. Yeah, I don't know about the bigger windshield. I was hoping to maybe throw a bigger windshield on this bike and try it. I haven't tried it. If somebody's 5'2" and they're riding this bike, they may not have the issues with wind that I have. I'm 6'2", so the windshield is going to be better for someone 5'2", but that's a pretty short rider. I think this bike might be too tall for somebody 5'2", honestly. But go to a Honda dealer and check it out. Okay, this is from Trent. I've had this. Oh, let me talk about he said the last comment was from the last person said he didn't know why they didn't offer the electronic suspension version in the U.S. And I think it's just a matter of, this is the first year they've brought this here. If this bike sells well in the U.S., they'll probably add those other models to the U.S. stable. Be my guess. They're just testing it right now to see how well it sells here in the U.S. And in my opinion, Honda did an absolutely terrible job of rolling this bike out in the U.S. market. They just didn't do a very good job. First of all, they didn't invite me to the press launch. But not that I'm upset about that.
Well, maybe it's just because you're ugly.
Ugly? You gotta be kidding me.
That's another story for another day. I'm not bitter about that at all. So, hope you guys see the humor in that. Anyway, Trent says, I've had this bike for a couple of weeks and I'm loving it. I put the 665mm Power Bronze windshield on it and it made a huge difference. I reached out to Power Bronze and they were going to send me a windshield to test on this NT, but they're in the UK and it takes a couple of weeks for the windshield to get here, and I'm not sure exactly how long I've got this bike. Honda hadn't told me when they're planning to come pick it up. If I'm going to have it for an extended period of time, I'd like to try one of these Power Bronze windshields to see what kind of difference it makes. Anyway, thanks for that comment, Trent. George Gandero says, I think you should, this is on the 800 or 8,000 mile service, I think you should expose the dealer and maybe they would think twice about their service charges. They may lose some business and hopefully go out of business. Now this was on a video I did talking about how much one of my friends paid. I think he paid like $800. The reason I didn't mention the dealer, you just explained why I didn't mention it. Because number one, the friend of mine who was the customer did not feel taken advantage of. He was willing to spend the money to have that done. It's not like he feel like he got cheated. This is just what dealers charge. They have to make money too. And if you choose to take your motorcycle to a dealership, just know you're going to pay $135 to $175 an hour for labor, and that's what it costs. Now, you have the option. You could buy my videos. You could do all those things yourself, save that money. But not everybody wants to do that. Some people don't mind spending the money to have the bike serviced. And I don't think that the dealership in this particular example was out of line with what they charged. I was just comparing it to what it would cost if you did it yourself. And when you say they may lose some business and hopefully go out of business, I don't want anybody to go out of business unless they're openly cheating somebody. Now, if you took your motorcycle to a dealer and they said, we're going to do this work and we're going to charge you $100, and then you go to pick up your bike and you've got a bill for $500, that's different. Yeah, those guys should go out of business. But that wasn't what happened here. The customer knew going in what it was going to cost to have this done. He's willing to spend the money. Okay, Merrick? This is on Jeff Cash being the winner of the drawing. I'm sorry, but I have to stop subscribing and watching you and your vlogs, all YouTube from the USA. You are aggressors who cause wars in the world, Iraq, Libya, and now you have attacked Iran under the guise of producing an atomic bomb. I don't think there was any guise. Everybody in the world agrees they were trying to produce a bomb. You're the only one that doesn't think they were trying to. Your president listens to evil and false Judean advisors. This will have consequences, but for you as U.S. citizens in the world. I don't know what the hell that has to do with my YouTube channel, but okay, don't. Oh, see, I told you I'll lose subscribers. I told you I'd lose a subscriber. So, some of you know me well enough to know I could probably rant for 30 minutes on that comment. And if I was drinking Crown today instead of coffee, last comment, Old Horsefly. What a great name, Old Horsefly. Cruiseman. I installed this on 3 2023 Goldwings and love them. What product was this? I can't tell by looking at that little tiny thumbnail which video that was. I'm sorry, I should have done more research on my own comments. Thanks for the video on this. I also need additional assistance on how to adjust the headlights up some. I can't find any information in the owner's manual on YouTube or anywhere. Can you help? Yes. If you sit on the bike and you look at the handlebars, underneath the handlebars in front, underneath on the back side of the headlights, we call that the tunnel. It's right above the front fork. On the back of the headlights, you'll find two little light gray knobs. And if you turn those knobs, you can adjust the left and the right headlight up or down. It's very simple. I thought it was in the owner's manual. Maybe it's not. But you can basically reach up there. You can see it from, just turn your handlebars to the left and you'll be able to easily see those knobs. Just reach up under in front of the handlebars and find one of those knobs and start turning it. Maybe I'll make a video on that. I just thought everybody knew how to do that, but maybe not. Okay, guys, that's it for June 2025. This one's in the can. I appreciate you joining me today. Remember, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And remember, if my videos and my YouTube channel have had any influence on you buying a Honda Goldwing, put it in the comments down below. It'll be much appreciated. And I'm going to use that as leverage, hopefully to benefit all of us in the future. Thank you again. If you have any questions, put them in the comments down below. NT1100 review will be coming up pretty soon. I've also got some new Fantic products I'm reviewing and a couple other little special things I'm doing. And of course, I'll be motovlogging from my ride to Midland if I ever get out of here. So anyway, thanks for joining me. And remember what I always say, ride often, but ride safe.